Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel here from I'm a Teacher, and this week's video is going to be all about my meal plan for an entire week for just one person. If you're new around here, you may not know that I actually live in a household full of 4 adults, and together we do all of our food all as one whole unit. I actually am the person who does the meal planning, grocery budget. I do the grocery shopping, some meal prep, and even cook our meals. Number one, because I'm pretty good at it. Number two, I actually really enjoy it, and it actually fascinates me how to keep the grocery budget down and such. However, due to just trying to stay really inspired with my weight loss journey, I am actually choosing during several weeks of the month of May, maybe even the entire month, to cook all of my dinners separately. This is in order for me to get a chance to try some recipes I normally wouldn't due to housemates' food preferences or just medical restrictions. So I'm going to be sharing with you how I have used the ingredients that I already purchased. I do have a grocery haul video that I will link down below or put into the cards. I took those ingredients and came up with meals for myself for the entire 7 days. That does include the weekend with having a little treat. The cost was about $35, and I will link that haul down below once again. Now, I did implement a few things that I had lying around my house, like some rice, some oatmeal, a little bit of leftover dressing, and such, but I think that's pretty fair. I think most of us probably have some things around our house. Now, if you're starting from scratch, you may, of course, spend a little bit more. But in addition to that, like any good meal planner, I do have some food left over. I have a lot of chicken. I have some smoked sausage. I even have some vegetables and even some fruit left over from this week that I don't think is going to get used, or I should say isn't getting used because I'm filming this a little bit later. But anyway, I am just going to, of course, go with the fact that I am feeding myself with that amount of money. Anyway, all that to say, I hope that you enjoy seeing all the things that I have eaten this entire week, and I hope that you're inspired to do the same. Like any good meal planner, you're going to roll over your ingredients, so this series is going to continue, and I will, of course, be doing more things. In addition to that, I do want to mention that I do follow the My WW Blue plan, and I will leave a description list of very detailed with how I did break these meals down, including smart points with the ingredients that I do have. I will link all recipes down below, and if you, of course, are wanting to try these, I always encourage you to put all of these things into your own meal calculator so that you can have an accurate amount, because I might have a different brand of rice than you have, or a different type of noodle or sauce or something like that. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Let's get into the meal prep and into the food that I ate this week. So I'm going to be going over my meal prep here. I'm sorry if you hear a video game playing. My housemates are doing that and I don't want to disturb them. So for starters, I did some pancake batter overnight oats. This is just the Domestic Geek's recipe, where actually you use half a cup of, oat milk, or you can probably use regular milk, but you do a tablespoon of chia seeds and 1/3 cup of the oats that you want. And of course I have some blueberries. I did wash the rest of my blueberries. I use them in another recipe, but I have a few left, so I may freeze these or may just eat them as is here and there. I did want to show you the chia seeds that I'm using. These are the Great Value Organic. I just have these on hand. I like these, and these have the least amount of points. I also used to sweeten this, I used monk fruit sweetener. I used a cake batter extract to give it like a kind of birthday cake taste to it. Then I also used a local honey from the farmers and their bees and such. And I did put a dash of cinnamon, but this is just my overnight oats here. The way I made this, if you're doing the My WW plan, it is about 5 smart points. But of course, these are just ideas. Be sure to, of course, put things into, put things into your calculator and check it out. I also used, this is from, I heard about this recipe from Running Away with Life. She made a 1 smart point type of muffin. This basically has, makes 12 of them. I made the whole entire thing. You use a cup of blueberries, fresh, or you probably could use frozen. You use 2 cups of oats. I used the quick oats. And then you use 2 eggs and 2 medium, like ripe bananas. I think recently she talked about if you don't have a ripe banana, you can like squeeze them and it will make them like softer, so you can use them. These are 1 smart point each, and I've had these before and I decided to make them because I would have the blueberries. I don't usually like blueberries by themselves unless they're mixed with something, so, or in muffins, so I did that. So that is breakfast. Oh wait, one more thing for breakfast. For breakfast, I made this little casserole. It's a breakfast casserole. I got the recipe from Amanda Seipert here on YouTube. If you are looking for meal prep videos in grocery hauls, she probably takes the cake with like the most professional and streamlined and very easy to follow recipes. I will link her down below along with the recipe. And that is what I have for breakfast. Now for lunch, I'm going to be doing chicken Caesar salad. So I have some romaine lettuce that I washed, dried, and then I basically, you know, kind of crumbled up and put in here. I'm going to be putting a paper towel over this. I did want to mention that. That's my dryer. Somebody on YouTube, I don't remember if I can find her, I'll link her, but I feel like I was watching a lot of meal prep videos and somebody put a paper towel in there with their lettuce. So I did the same. Hopefully that would keep it crisp. So when I top that up, I'll do that. I also boiled some eggs with my, just for the meal prep, and I thought I will either eat these inside my salad if I choose to, because like I said, I'm doing Caesar salad. I have the Bolthouse Caesar dressing along with some Parmesan cheese that just needs to be eaten, and I thought I might put the boiled eggs in there if I need to, or I might just eat them if I have a day where I just feel like I need to eat a little bit more. Then I'll just have that for a snack. Then I also just made some chicken. I just cooked this in the oven, just a basic chicken recipe, salt and pepper. And then I do have some rice here. This is actually just in preparation for dinner. I am thinking that I may do some burrito bowls. So I might use some of this chicken for that. And then also some rice. And then I have cans of black beans. So I'm not really sure when I will eat that. But if I do, I will just basically take the black beans and, you know, drain them and use them as is. So like I said, I'm doing some of my stuff with my just on my own this week. If you watched my last video, like I mentioned, I said I'm going to be doing all my meals separately this week, and when I have some of those black beans, I will, you know, eat those up, just stuff I have here around, and I may only eat, you know, the burrito bowl once, and that just gives you know, the other half I'll either save it or my housemates might eat it. Anyway, I have salt and junk everywhere because I was just cooking, but this is overall what I prepped up. And then, of course, I will show you the dinners as I prep them because there isn't really anything except for the rice that I wanted to prep ahead of time. So anyway, we'll just get to that, of course, a little bit later. And I don't know, I might cook up some more chicken if I need to, but that's what we've done so far. Stay tuned for all the dinners. Alrighty, I thought it would be great to prep in here a little section about my lunches. You might hear my doggies walking around. They are moving around. Anyway, I am using the romaine lettuce that you saw me prep. I used about 1.5 cups of that crisp romaine lettuce, and the paper towel did work with keeping it pretty crisp. I added about 1/2 teaspoon of the real bacon bits from Hormel. This adds basically just a few calories, and it is 0 smart points for the amount I used. I did add some of this Frigo shredded Parmesan cheese. I added only a tablespoon, and that made it only 1 smart point. Then I topped it with just about 2 ounces of that grilled chicken and only about 1/2 of the egg from the Happy Egg Company that I've been trying out. And as you can see, I like to do my yolks not completely like all the way done, so it's a little bit like super orange in there. And then I added 30 grams or 2 tablespoons of the Bolthouse Creamy Caesar dressing. And this is only 45 calories or 2 smart points for 2 tablespoons, which is pretty good. So altogether, if you are doing the My WW Blue plan, this is only 3 smart points for me. And that's just for the Parmesan and the dressing. The chicken and the egg, of course, are 0, and the lettuce. And I didn't put enough bacon bits to count as points. If you're following others, of course, be sure to pop it into calculators for calories or for smart points and such. But this is what I'm eating for today, and it is pretty good. So this is what I'm going to be having all week long for my lunches. I love chicken Caesar salad. So now you're going to see me with some of my dinners of what I prepped throughout the week and as I go along. And I hope you enjoy those ideas. Now here's an example of a snack that I'm having. I have just 1 serving of the Snack Factory Pretzel Crisp for 3 Smart Points or 110 calories. There are 11 of them that you can have, or 28 grams. I also have some Sabra red pepper hummus, 2 tablespoons for 70 calories or 2 Smart Points. So altogether, this is 180 calories or 5 Smart Points. This is something I did not prep ahead of time because I am working from home. So I usually just portion this out when I need it in order just to save on dishes and such. Although for next week, I think I may prep at least 1 snack box or maybe prep them ahead of time, just because I am actually headed out to pay some bills and I wanted to make sure I have a snack. So I didn't have anything portioned, so I quickly threw this on here and to take with me so I can toss it away in the car afterwards. So this is just a little idea and what I am eating. And of course, if you want to see all of this stuff, you can see it in the grocery haul. The first meal, I'm actually going to be taking a recipe that serves 4, and I'm going to split it in half and eat it on Monday and Tuesday. I have some different ingredients. If you watch my grocery haul, which I will link it down below, you'll kind of know the ingredients I'm using. I did about 2 servings of the Normandy blend that I purchased. I have a little bit of just like shrimp that was just in my house, and this is actually you're supposed to use a whole pound for the whole entire recipe. I'm splitting it in half, and this actually isn't even 8 ounces, so it's a little bit less than half a pound. I'm doing 2 pieces of this corn here, and then I am only going to use half of this. You're supposed to use the entire package to make 4 servings, but I'm only going to do 2 servings because that is something you can do if you cook for yourself, is just to split recipes up. So this is the smoked turkey, and of course this is all in my grocery haul. If you watched that, be sure to check that out. And this is going to be like a Cajun blend. I do have some olive oil. I am going to use this blackened seasoning from Zatarain's. That is because I don't have any Cajun seasoning, and rather than go buy some, let me see if I can get that to focus. Rather than go buy some, I am just going to use this up. Pretty much everything that's inside here is what is inside a Cajun seasoning, except that most of them I seen add some chili pepper, like pepper flakes, and a lot of them have oregano. Some even have thyme. So I'm going to add a little bit of oregano and some red pepper chili flakes. And then of course I'm going to let this all thaw out beforehand. And then I'm just going to drizzle like olive oil and then put the seasoning inside. I will link the original recipe down below. This was kind of inspired by a Cajun recipe that had smoked sausage, but instead of using peppers, I decided to do corn because I like corn. So this is also kind of like another one I saw. I'll link both recipes where they use corn instead. So this is just going to be a Cajun recipe. These are going to thaw. I'll dice these. I think this is going to make a really big meal. It is going to be 6 Smart Points, but I will show you the finished product when we are done. Sorry if this is a bit dark, but my phone's going to die, but I do want to show this to you. Okay, so here's what you do. You put everything inside here. I do think this probably would have been a little better if I'd used fresh zucchini, but I think it should still roast good. Okay, you basically take this and you put olive oil. So you put this inside here. Now, if you wanted to save, you could use this Pompeii kind that I have, which is a spray, and it only has extra virgin olive oil, so it's no, repellents. But you basically put the olive oil, you put the seasonings. Once again, I use the Zatarain's. I threw in a little bit of thyme, some crushed red pepper, and some oregano. Some of them said some of Cajun recipes I saw said oregano or thyme was in it with red peppers, and then everything else is pretty much what's in Cajun seasoning. Anyway, you just toss it in here, put the olive oil, toss it up, and then you put it on your pan. I chose to spray my pan and obviously put foil. And you put it on here. You have your oven, of course, at 400, and then you basically, spread it out, and then you cook it for 15 to 20 minutes or until your shrimp is done. So I'm going to throw this on here. My oven is preheating, and then I'll just show you how I'm going to put it in a single layer. Here's what it looks like. You may hear my dog in the background. Once again, I did have the shrimp already on hand. I think I mentioned that. But here it goes. Let me show you what I'm going to be having for Wednesday and Thursday. This is some of the rice I cooked up. I decided to open a can of chickpeas and I put some chicken on here and just a little bit of sriracha. I do have enough to split up this rice and chickpeas for a couple other ways. I'm gonna make this again for Thursday, but instead of putting chicken, I'm going to cook an over easy egg. I won't show that because I know I have it somewhere on my videos before, so I'm gonna do that. So that will be Wednesday and Thursday, and then I'm going ahead and prepping up Friday's dinner because the chicken can only stay in the refrigerator for so long. So that's going to go in the freezer, but I will show you how I'm going to do that one. Here's going to be Friday's meal. This is going to go in the freezer though, because cooked chicken, it is Wednesday, and cooked chicken can only stay in your refrigerator from I think 3 to 4 days, so I don't want this to go bad. So I'm probably just going to throw the whole thing in the freezer. I may throw this in here or just freeze this. I'm going to look up how long rice and chickpeas can stay in your refrigerator cooked, but definitely this is going in the freezer. Anyway, I'm just going to do something super simple. Once again, I'm pulling things, of course, that I already have that I have purchased beforehand. So I'm using the chickpeas. I season them up with a little bit of oregano, garlic, some cumin, and some chili powder just to give it a little zesty thing rather than open up some black beans. I have the rest of the rice here, so that rice split up for three portions of 3/4 cup, so this would be 5 smart points. Just the rice land, this is 0. I am topping it with a little bit of this Tostitos queso blanco dip. You can have 2 tablespoons for 45 calories or 1 smart point. Then I'm adding a little bit of this Paul Newman's salsa. This is just one I bought a long time ago, so it needs to go. And then I am putting a little bit of Meyer fat-free sour cream, just because it needs to be used up. So altogether, this will be 1, then 5 for the rice. And of course the chicken is 0 because I'm on the blue plan. The chickpeas are 0. So altogether this will be a 7-point dinner. But once again, I'm not going to show this completely put together because I think you get the idea for a rice bowl. I don't want this video to be a bazillion hours long, but this is going to go in the freezer for a later time. These containers that I have do go in the freezer. The lids, of course, can go in there as well. This whole thing, if you take the lid off, can go obviously in the microwave, dishwasher, and in the oven. The tops can go through the dishwasher as well, but I just got them at Sam's Club. I want to show you the end of the weekend, what I'm doing, just to give you an overview. I'm not going to show pictures of them because it's going to be kind of boring. Maybe the pizza when it's done, but I do have some blueberries. I'm going to, this is the weekend eats, Saturday and Sunday. I'm just going to make blueberry oatmeal. I think today I'm going to make it hot, but I'm going to do probably another overnight oat for Sunday just to make things easier. My Sunday school class is still meeting online, so I oftentimes will have my breakfast and just get up really late, sit down and listen to my class online. We do it through Facebook Live and such, so I will prep that so I can just get up really late. For lunches for the weekend, I know this sounds really crazy, but I still have some lettuce in here. First off, I stuffed so much inside here. I kept pushing it in, so this became the Mary Poppins bag of lettuce because I kept pulling more lettuce out, but there's definitely a lot. I will say keeping the paper towel in here kept everything really crisp, so I would highly recommend that. I know that this is my biggest container. I just kept stuffing it in, but there's a lot that fit in there, all of my rambling. So that's going to be breakfast and lunches for Saturday and Sunday. And then I'm going to be making this tonight. I am going to probably cut this in half. The entire pizza, let's see here. The entire pizza is 26 points. And you can have 13 smart points for half of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I would highly recommend scanning these and punching in the ingredients for the Amy's pizzas or Amy's items, because I also have noticed some things have scanned differently in the store than what's in here. I don't know if people put the ingredients in, so just recommend that as well. Anyway, I'm going to cut this in half and I will eat half of it tonight and half of it tomorrow. I will try to insert a picture of this at least, just so you can see if it really looks like this, but the ingredients are really clean. Anyway, this is what I am having for the rest of the week. I will, of course, show a picture of this if I can, and then I will close out the video in another clip. So let's get into the pizza. All right, so here is the pizza. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to cut this in half, and it already smells delicious. Can't wait. So it'll be 13 smart points for half this pizza. So there you have it. That is what I ate for an entire week. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all of my meals. I hope that this inspires you to come up with your own ideas, and maybe if you're like me, maybe you are just really needing to focus on yourself and cook some really great meals for yourself. So If you are by yourself, I do want to encourage you, you can be creative, you can feed yourself. It can be a little bit harder than feeding yourself with a whole entire group because you have to only cook for one person, but it inspires you to not waste ingredients and use everything up. It was so satisfying throwing away or recycling my empty container of blueberries and all of that stuff and finishing an entire thing of hummus without throwing it away before it goes to bad. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you would enjoy me. I hope that you would join me in my next video of this series where I will, of course, be using some of the ingredients that were left over and shopping for some new things and creating some new and delicious meals. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.